Chapter 23, Maniac Magee. Grayson got the crimpets all night. He brought a whole box of 3 packets. With 10 packets to a box, there were 30 butterscotch crimpets. Maniac thought he must have climbed out of the buffalo pen right into heaven. Then Grayson took Maniac home. Home for the old man was the 2 Mills YMCA. He lived in a room on the 3rd floor, but he didn't take Maniac up there. He took him downstairs to the locker room. He got out a towel and a cake of soap, told him to take off his rags, and pointed the way to the showers. Maniac stayed in the shower for an hour. He hadn't done this since the last bath with the little ones. He smiled at the thought of them shrieking and splashing. The shower needles stung his scratches, but it was a good welcome back to town stinging. When Maniac finally forced himself from the shower, he found the old man waiting with his clothes, Grayson's clothes. I called the U.S. Army to haul them buffalo rags away, he said. They come in with gas masks, and they used tongs to pick them up and put them in the steel box, and they took the box away to bury them in the bottom of the first mine shaft they come to. Maniac couldn't stop laughing. Neither could Grayson, especially when he got a load of the kids drowning in his clothes. An hour later, a minor shopping spree, Maniac had clothes of his own. For the rest of the afternoon, they cruised around town, talking and eating crimpets. "So," said the old man, "now where are we going to go?" Maniac thought about it. "What about a job? I could work for the park like you." Grayson didn't answer that. He said, "Where you think you're going to stay?" Maniac's answer was prompt. "The baseball room. It's perfect." A tiny idea was beginning to worm its way into Grayson's head. He could barely feel it as he brushed it by the claptrap in his brain. He ignored it. He said, "What about school?" Maniac was silent. Some butterscotch icing had stayed behind on a wrapper. He scooped it up and mopped it from his finger, wishing it were Mrs. Beale's and not his own. Grayson, who was not comfortable asking questions, was even less comfortable waiting for answers. I said, "What about school?" Maniac turned to him. "What about it? You gotta go. You're a kid, ain't you?" "I'm not going." "But you gotta, don't you? They make you." "Not if they don't find me." The old man looked at him for a while a mixture of puzzlement and recognition, as though the fish he had landed might be the same one he had thrown away long before. "Why?" he said. Maniac felt why more than he knew why. He had to do with homes and families and schools, and how a school seemed part of a big home, but only a day home, because then it empties out, and you can't stay there at night because it's not really a home, and you could never use it as your address, because that address is where you stay at night, where you walk right in the front door without knocking, where someone talks to each other and uses the same toaster. So the other kids would be heading for their homes, their night homes, each of them, hundreds, flocking from school like birds from a tree, scattering across town, each breaking off to his or her place, each knowing exactly where to land. Home, school. No, he just was going to have one without the other. "If you try to make me," he said, "I'll just start running." Grayson said nothing. What the kid said actually made him feel good, although he had no idea why. And the brushing little worm of notion was beginning to tickle him now. He kept on driving.